So Nanny Poppy, clearly this is a bit more than just a photo op. We wanted to take advantage of this trip that you've given us and take a few minutes to celebrate you guys and the phenomenal achievement of your 50th wedding anniversary. Surprise is defined as an attack made without warning, or to strike or occur with a sudden feeling of wonder or astonishment as through unexpectedness. March 21st, 1970. Most of us, well, on this side of the room, wasn't born back then, so you don't know what it looks like. This side, they do. I was 3 months old, so I wanted to just take everybody back to 1970 and see what the world looked like in 1970. Let me caution you, some of this isn't all happy, but life never is. It's full of surprises. So in 1970, U.S. troops invade Cambodia as the Vietnam War escalates. 4 students were killed by National Guardsmen at Kent State University in Ohio. The first class stamp cost 6 cents. The Beatles broke up. George C. Scott wins the Oscar for Patton, his role in Patton. Monday Night Football debuts with Howard Cosell, Frank Gifford, and Don Meredith doing play-by-play. IBM introduces the first floppy disk. You don't even know what a floppy disk is. Yeah. The album of the year was Aquarius, Let the Sunshine In by the Fifth Dimension. The year in Dow Jones, I love this one, ended at 838. 838. Now it's almost 30,000. A gallon of gas was 36 cents. Average price of a house was $4,975. You won't know this one either. A car 8-track stereo tape player is $38.99. Voting age was lowered to 18. But that didn't affect Jack and Cathy because they were only 16, 17. That's right, just 16 and 17. In fact, just a number of months earlier, in the fall of 1968, a young girl was sitting in the general gathering area for students, and she watched the young man walk across the room, and she told herself, "That's the boy I'm going to marry." She told me that. I heard someone say that life is what happens to all of us while we're busy planning other things. I bet those two were planning a lot of other things at 16 and 17. But as life would have it, that young girl got to meet that boy in driver's ed class, and boom, life happened. Surprise! Double dates, football games, school events, high school jobs, all the usual stuff that seemed to eat up our high school days are in full effect. Then one day, Nanny Polly hands the phone to that 16-year-old boy and says, "It's Otis Hancock. He wants to talk to you." Surprise. Life happened. And within a couple of weeks, let me introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Jack Kirkland. There you go. Awesome. They also introduced to you some lyrics from one of Jack's favorite songs, written by Robert Mutt Lang and Shania Twain. Look how far we've come, my baby. We might have took the long way. We knew we'd get there someday. They said, I bet they'll never make it. Here's some foreshadowing. Surprise. Well, with the high school administration, in their infinite wisdom, wouldn't let a married couple attend high school together. So Jack was told that he would be finishing high school at a different school across town. And another obstacle to overcome where would this young married couple live? Well, of course, just in their own house, raising kids all on their own, right? Nope, that's the scripted version of life. And we're living the unscripted version of life. They actually moved into their parents' home. Fred and Polly even moved out of their own master bedroom so the newlyweds could move in. That's definitely part of the unscripted part of life. And within a couple of months, Eric was born. Over the next couple of years, Jack and Cathy lived sometime with Fred and Polly and sometime with the Hancocks, back and forth. They finished high school, and what's next? Making ends meet aren't as easy as it seems. They're still living at their parents' house, so together they make a decision. Off to serve in the Air Force goes Jack with Cathy and Eric in tow in San Antonio, Texas, and then Biloxi, Mississippi, and life is well underway, the unscripted version. A few years later, along comes another baby, a beautiful baby girl. Surprise! They said, I bet they'll never make it, but just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. The Air Force stint begins to take some turns and opportunities are there, and Jack and Cathy opt to leave Mississippi to return home to North Carolina, where Jack starts school at NC State using the GI Bill. After 2.5 years, he earns an electrical engineering degree. And now what? More opportunities appear. Pursue a master's degree at Rutgers or Stanford? Nope, says Jack. It's time to start earning a living and earn some money, and IBM is calling, and it's a move to Charlotte. Over the next number of years, life happens multiple times, and of course not the scripted version. Hey Mom, it's Eric. I just saw the eye doctor. Oh, and by the way, I have a brain tumor. Surprise. Mandy moves away to Florida with a boy. Surprise. Not this one. Eric gets married. Surprise. And has a baby. And another. And another. Surprise. Papa Otis passes. Surprise. Nanny Pat's moving in. Surprise. Mandy comes home and gets married, and you now have 3 more grandchildren. Surprise. Jack, you've got prostate cancer. Surprise. Mandy has 2 babies at once. Surprise. And another. Surprise. Nanny, Polly, and Fred can't take care of each other any longer. Surprise. Granddad Fred passes, and Nanny Polly doesn't talk anymore. Surprise. But that's what life does. It happens while we're making other plans, different plans. It's not easy or for the faint of heart. Many just give up, shut down, or simply quit. The storms are too great and too many to be weathered. Life turns driver's ed class into our parents' house, then military housing, and then a place of our own where kids are raised, and eventually into RVs at campsites with friends, all living life, the unplanned version. And that's what we get to celebrate today. I asked Cathy what were some of her best times when she looks back, as if one could define life by mere bullet points. And Cathy didn't try. Interestingly, she said life seems to be separated into 5 to 10 year pockets, like chapters to a book, or waves at the beach. They just keep rolling in. Some are rough and others peaceful. Some seem to rhythmically rock you soothingly, while others crash upon you, leaving you wondering if you'll ever get up from underneath them. And when you do, there's still sand in your crack. But Cathy said something that I loved. She said that the one thing that made it all possible, the one constant thing throughout the years, was the unwavering support from family and friends. And that's what we're here talking about today. Celebrating how two young 16 years old met in driver's ed class, whose path was maybe different from that of others. Two kids who grew up into Jack and Cathy, Mom and Dad, Nanny and Poppy. Ain't nothing better. We beat the odds together. I'm glad we didn't listen. Look at what we'd be missing. They said, I'll bet they'll never make it. And look what you created. Surprise. One part of the story that we always talk about is that you never had a proper wedding in front of family and friends. You never had it because you were too busy living the unplanned version of life as it happened. So together, we all wanted to give this to you. Surprise.
When you first joined hands and hearts in marriage 50 years ago, you did not know where life would take you. You promised to love, honor, and cherish one another through all things. Life has surely brought you both wonderful blessings and difficult challenges over the years. And here you are today, having fulfilled the vows you each made on your wedding day, and God is smiling. We have a rainbow. As you celebrate here today, and as you reflect back over all the years as husband and wife, do you now wish to reaffirm the vows you took 50 years ago? So Jack, will you continue to have Cathy as your wife and continue to live in this happy and loving marriage? That's a question.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you reaffirm your love for her? And will you love, honor, and cherish her in sickness and in health? For richer, for poorer, for better, for worse, and forsaking all others, be faithful to her for as long as you both shall live. Good answer. Cathy, will you continue to have Jack as your husband and continue to live in this happy and loving marriage? Do you reaffirm your love for him, and will you love, honor, and cherish him in sickness and in health, for richer, for poorer, for better, for worse, and forsaking all others, be faithful to him for as long as you both shall live? We're going to invite Josh up, who's going to sing a song for us. Do it again. Check it. Jack and Cathy, on your wedding day you exchanged rings as a symbol of the never-ending circle that symbolizes the eternal quality of God, unending strength, and unending love. May you always wear your rings as a reminder of your wedding vows to each other and your commitment to continue to live in unity, love, and happiness. To remind you of that commitment made on your wedding day, you will now renew your pledge. Jack, you're going to repeat after me. It's real simple. I wear this ring you placed on my hand as a symbol of my love and commitment to you.
As a symbol of my love and commitment.
Your turn, Cathy. I wear this ring you placed on my hand as a symbol of my love and commitment to you. Marriage is a commitment to learning to care for one another in mutually fulfilling ways. It is not an act, but a lifelong relationship, always in the making. Happiness is fuller, memories are fresher, commitment is stronger, even anger is felt more strongly and passes away more quickly. Marriage understands and forgives the mistakes life is unable to avoid. It encourages and nurtures new life, new experiences, new ways of expressing a love that is deeper than life. When two people pledge their love and care for each other in marriage, they create a spirit unique unto themselves, which binds them closer than any spoken or written words. Marriage is a promise made in the hearts of two people who love each other, and the potential of marriage requires a lifetime to fulfill. Gracious Lord, our hearts are filled with great happiness as Jack and Cathy renew their marriage vows and today reaffirm their faith and love for one another. Grant that they may ever be true and loving, living together in such a way as to never bring shame or heartbreak into their marriage. Fill their hearts with kindness and understanding. Help them to remember to be each other's sweetheart, helpmate, friend, and guide, so that together they may meet the cares and problems of life more bravely. May the home they are reaffirming today truly be a place of love and harmony, where your spirit is always present. Bless this marriage. In your name we pray. Amen. Jack and Cathy, today you have renewed the promises and vows you made to each other on your wedding day. You have symbolized the renewal of the marriage union by joining the hands and taking of the vows and by exchanging of the rings. Please celebrate this renewal of vows with a sign of affection. Jack, you may kiss your bride again. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Kirkland.
Standing in silence, the stars lean in. And in my chest, I can feel this is where we begin. You're bringing heaven down to earth. A symphony in